Good morning. 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 Good morning, bitches. Good morning, bitches.
Good morning, bitches.
Welcome to Tuesday.
Yeah.
We have an actual audience today.
Yeah, we have one cat down here and one cat back there.
Oh, I think he's been outed now. He's leaving.
Over here. All good.
All right, so welcome to today's edition of Good Morning Bitches. We're continuing in our theme of discussing albums that are important to both of us and important to one of us. Today we are discussing Janis fucking Joplin.
A lot of people don't know that was her middle name.
It absolutely was. Before that was even a thing, I think.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my God, just so much to say, so many feelings, so many thoughts. Honestly, it would be an understatement to say that I had a Janis Joplin phase because it really, I feel like she is a goddamn feminist icon that is far too often kind of turned into a very easy caricature. Which, I think happens to a lot of people who have like very big personalities.
Yeah.
And the personality kind of starts to take over the individual.
Mm-hmm.
But Janis, man. So we're discussing the 1970 Greatest Hits album.
1973.
1973 Greatest Hits album. Apologies.
Which is only 3 years after she died.
Mm-hmm.
And we both had it. You have it on vinyl. Is that how you've always had it?
No, I have it on a CD. So I have the Janis Joplin, that Greatest Hits one. You know it. It's got the picture of her on a motorcycle with the big glasses. I had that on like a 2-disc CD. I have Pearl on vinyl.
Oh, I'm getting confused.
Which was her last record, which is like one of the bigger albums. I think that was her last album. I also have Cheap Thrills, which was her first record. Well, her second record with Big Brother and Holding Company, which was given to me by my best friend Genevieve, high school best friend, lesbian best friend number one. We were both obsessed with Janis Joplin, and I remember like her and I sitting on the couch, probably very high, watching her performance at Monterey Pop Festival and just both being like, minds blown, shook to the core at like what we were experiencing. It was magical. Like, I just feel like there's something about her story, her vulnerability, her performance, her voice, like it's just so powerful. And the fact that she was like not conventionally pretty, mm-hmm. and didn't really attempt to be, it's just like, I know I'm weird, but like there was power in that and she really used that in her delivery. So that Greatest Hits record, like I had bits and pieces of like Janis Joplin, and the songs, like everybody knows what the songs are. But that collection, I think it's what everybody knows. It's the songs that everybody knows.
Yeah, it's a really good primer. If you don't know much Janis, it's still in print. I mean, I had it on CD. It was a single CD though, my version.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly when I got it. I had a very big Jimi Hendrix phase when I was about 15 or 16, and I feel like I probably got this around the same time. I had a compilation when I was a little bit younger that was of like blues and soul, just like a two-disc
mm-hmm.
general blues and soul compilation that had, of all the songs, Mercedes-Benz on it.
Yeah.
Which was
an odd choice.
It was in a Mercedes commercial around the time. Like they finally got the rights to it or whatever. Because I remember that, I think, is when I was first aware of her, because it was just like a car commercial, and then there's just this a cappella of this woman.
Yeah.
And it was an edit, so it had the beginning where she says, and I'm going to do something great social and political input. But then it also ended with her like going, "That's it," and laughing.
Mhm.
So they must have just like done that.
Yeah.
And maybe there was one verse. There must have been one verse, and just being like, "Mum, who's that? What's happening?
What is this?"
So that I think is when I was first aware of her, and then I had that compilation. And then at some point I purchased this greatest hits. And when I worked at a record store, when I was like 20, I would sometimes put it on Sundays. That would like
that's a really good Sunday record store album.
Yeah, you have to put different music on Sundays.
Totally.
At record stores.
Yeah.
And you know, I was like a 20-year-old disaster area, and the woman who ran the store, Tina, was much cooler than me, and all the middle-aged muso guys had a crush on her. She was spoken for and very much not interested. But like guys would try and chat her up a lot, which I always found very funny because she didn't like it at all. And every time I put Janis Joplin on, somebody would walk up to Tina and be like, "Oh, you know, I haven't heard this for age," and like try and start a conversation.
Try to make it.
She didn't really like Janis Joplin very much, and she'd always be like, "Well, she put it on."
Yeah.
And then they just look at like this. Which when I was 20 was not a very together human being.
Yeah.
And we're just like, "Oh, anyway, can I have this Bob Dylan CD?" and then leave.
Yeah. I mean, I had fully embraced like the Janis Joplin like ethos by the time I was in college, because that's when that happens. When I was in college, I was like listening to a lot of classic rock and like 60s stuff, and I remember like I grew my hair out like about as long as it was before I cut it, but it was also like a lot lighter, and I might have had some streaks going on. I had a camo jacket that I wore a lot that had patches on it. I had these pair of like ripped up dirty jeans that I made. I had a hippie friend like put bell bottom panels in the side, like so it flared out a little bit.
That. Yeah.
And I had big purple aviator glasses, and I had this T-shirt that I bought off of a friend of mine in college, and I think I still have it. It's that like super shitty threadbare Southern Comfort T-shirt, the like ringer shirt.
Yeah.
And that was very much my look.
Wow. I didn't do that. My but my tribute to Janet. I keep trying to say Janet Joplin.
Janet Joplin
from 30 Rock. My tribute to Janice was my signature move in college was turn up at a house party with a bottle of Jack Daniels and drink it all and then leave. But she didn't drink Jack Daniels, she drank Southern Comfort, but Southern Comfort is disgusting.
I did try to drink it for a while, but it is
disgusting.
It's awful. It's very bad. It's very
I
bad.
question her taste levels when
I don't think she was in it for taste. You know, I don't think she was. But you know, I think I was already, I loved Janis. I loved the music, and then I read a very, very thick biography of her and was just like so like struck by her story and her passion for music and how like deeply she connected with the music that she was singing. And you know, like a lot of people at the time, she was very heavily influenced by the blues, but I don't feel like she was ever like super derivative or was ever like really ripping off. Like I also had a 3 cassette tape collection of Janis Joplin's like greatest hits. It was quite a
wow, that's a lot more comprehensive.
It was
my one
quite
CD.
comprehensive, but there were 3, and I meant to bring it up from the basement because it's got this amazing booklet. It's in like a case, and it's got this amazing booklet on the inside with this photo that's just like her naked, except for like a giant strings of beads just covering the front of her, which I learned from the autobiographer, from the biography. Was a thing that she did when her and all of her band friends were doing lots of speed. Made love. That's how love beats got made back in the days, because everybody was on like all of the beat. Like they made all these crazy beat and
oh, they made the beats.
Yeah,
I was
they made all the beats.
I was like, what? They used to do speed and get naked and put beads on?
I mean, yes.
Okay,
but
it's not a drug I would associate that kind of behavior with. That's interesting.
But she was also like openly bisexual, even though she not in her music, which I think as openly queer as you kind of could be in those days, like among her friends and among the like circle of people that she knew and trusted. But among like in popular music, if she wanted to be famous, she couldn't write a song about like falling in love with the girl that she was making beats with. You know what I mean? Like that was
beats.
Yeah. But and like her struggle with that and feeling, wanting to be accepted and wanting to be loved, but wanting to always feeling like that love had to be on somebody else's terms, and like that kind of a story, and how that turned into such a sort of self-destructive quest.
Yeah, and I mean, there's also like, so she was 27 when she died, but she was fairly young when Big Brother and Holding Company started putting out records. So she had solid 5-6 years.
Yeah, and she went through like 3 or 4 bands.
Right.
Because Big Brother was the first band, and it was very much just like a straight up rock, like psych rock ensemble. And then there was the Cosmic Blues Band,
right,
and the Full Tilt Boogie Band, which like on Pearl, on that last album, like a lot of the songs have like big, like funky horn sections, which in the biography I learned she was really, really inspired by Otis Redding at the Monterey Pop Festival, and like and that sound, and after that was very much like, I want a horn section, and those albums are really produced, and I don't remember a lot about the stories of her actually making music, but I do feel like she got to a point where she was like, hey, this is my band. We're playing the songs this way.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear this crazy shit, and I am the front person of this band, and I'm going to say how we do this stuff. But I don't know what the production was like behind the scenes, and like how much she may have kind of got influenced or pushed into sounding a certain way, but there's such an uncompromising vibe to her music, while at the same time it's so much about like her vulnerability and like her needs and wants,
Yeah.
Love Janis till the day I die.
Yeah, I mean, I read a really interesting story not that long ago, and I wish I could remember where it was, because I would have reread it before this, but it was about, I guess, just before recording Pearl. So she'd had an amount of success already, that she just went backpacking. She just like got out. She got clean.
Yeah.
And she went traveling, which she hadn't really done. Like, she was this like mythical figurehead of this scene.
Yeah.
But she wasn't necessarily living that lifestyle that was being evoked, especially when she was so busy working on the road and whatever. So she just kind of anonymously went back, I think in South America, got clean, etc., and then came back and recorded Pearl. But basically just the stress got to her and she got back on the drugs.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, to at least have that, because I think she was very like self-aware and almost like kind of crushingly self-conscious in a way, and like something that I certainly identified with and recognized when I was learning about her and really like studying her music. But to be like, I need to take a step back and like look at things outside of this bubble, but then to like come back and sort of succumb to it again, But I think she's incredible, and I always will. And I love that she's such an icon, but like not really for any of the reasons that people become iconic now. She wasn't traditionally beautiful. Her voice is very harsh, but so authoritative. Like there's a lot of punk rock vibes to like what Janis does.
I think I learned a lot about how I sing from Janis, whether I did it on purpose or not.
Yeah.
There's also a very brutal clip that I saw in a documentary once where she went back to her high school.
Oh yeah.
She got invited back to her high school to like, I don't know if it was a commencement speech or what it was, but she got invited back for something, and she had not had a great time in high school, and obviously thought that it was going to be like a little bit of a homecoming, like, see, I wasn't a total mess situation. And then, like, the local press are just kind of really mean to her, kind of just asking her about why she wasn't popular and shit, I think.
Yeah.
It's really awful.
Yeah, which, you know, is so sad. And for someone like her who did really feel that and carry that sense of like rejection with her for her whole life, to like feel like she'd accomplished something and want to prove it, and then to go back and then just be like, oh, it's just you.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I also thought was really amazing that I had learned about her is she was very influenced by the blues, obviously, and by Bessie Smith in particular. Bessie Smith died in a car crash in, I think, 1937 and was just buried in an unmarked grave. And Janis Joplin, along with one local person, oh, hi, Frankie, paid to have a headstone put on Bessie Smith's grave as her, like, you know, which I think is pretty incredible, you know?
Yeah.
There were a lot of people who I think were trying to do things like that, or who were kind of making like performative, recognizable gestures towards the lineage of the blues, but weren't kind of putting their money where their mouth was. And Janis did. She knew where she came from. She knew what she knew who she owed it to.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. So yeah. I mean, I could talk about Janis for all day long, you know, but we got a song to sing.
We do got a song to sing, but yeah, you should check out all of her records. But if you need somewhere to start, I would say the greatest.
Yeah, that greatest hits collection
is on Spotify. It's the one where she's on a motorcycle. There might be others, but like that was the one that came out like 3 years after she died, because I think she died before Pearl came out.
Yeah, I think she did. Yeah.
Which was like her big solo. Is it her only solo record? The only one that doesn't have like Janis and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I guess so, because I think there were a lot of other albums that came out after that were like compilation kind of things. A couple of live albums, which I have one of as well. But it was, yeah, I think it was like a combination of both of those bands on Pearl. But anyway.
We're going to do a song now. Crystal's going to sing this one. You ready?
I think so.
Okay. This is on Pearl, right?
Yes.
It's also on the greatest hits.
I think is it the opening one?
Maybe.
Oh, anyway.
Nice. Okay.
Yep.
Go.
Say that it's over, baby. Say that it's over now, but still you hang around and come on, won't you move over? You know that I need a man, honey. You know that I need a man. But when I ask you to, you just tell me that maybe you can. Please don't you do it to me, babe. Please don't you do it to me. Either take the love I offer, or just let me be. Ain't quite ready for walking. Ain't quite ready for walking. What's a poor girl to do with your love? With love just dangling. Make up your mind, honey. You're playing with me. Make up your mind, darling. You're playing with me. Now either be my loving man, or let me, honey, let me be. won't you move over? You know that I need a man, I told you so. You know that I need a man. But when I ask you to, you just tell me that maybe you can. Please don't you do it to me, babe. Please don't you do it to me. Either take the love I offer, or just let me be. Ain't quite ready for walking, no, no, no. Ain't quite ready for walking. What's a poor girl to do when you love? With love just dangling. I said, won't you let me be? Honey, you're teasing me. Yeah, you're toying with my heart, dear. I believe you're toying with my affections, honey. I can't take it no more, baby. And furthermore, I don't intend to. You just tie your love on the end of a string, honey. You expect me to fight like a goddamn mule. Na 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 na. Yeah, Janis.
All right, we are going to be back on Thursday, where we are going to be talking about Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette and Stoosh by Skunk and Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
Which a lot of you aren't going to know, but you should.
Yep. Get ready to get angsty.
Yes. It's angst o'clock on Thursday.
Yes, it is. We'll see you then.
Bye.